40 minutes, guys, because we've got the unicursal at a high for the day, right? This was one of the cards, the readings where it was difficult to determine where the low was exactly, but there's very likely a low in the close, or it'll be the following day. All right, so I have the relative opens here. And technically, we did open higher. Really, I would have. This is more like a roughly the same price level, but technically, we opened just slightly above, so it's still accurate. But I would have liked to seen myself predict like more sideways, roughly the same price level there at the open. Not going to get it every time, but with that said, it was still accurate. And then here at the end of the day, first off, we had a high around 1-2, right? Came back down, and now we have a high at the end of the day. But what my sense is that we have this unicursal here, so there's a significant decline either off of a high at the close, or it could have already started. It looks like it already started, to be frank. But if we all of a sudden go higher here, because this could have been the lovers card actually, right? In which case we would see more rally to the upside. Either case, what I would do in a situation like this is I'd probably open up a partial short. Yeah, because there's a prominent trough there towards the end of the day on the 5th, or like on the cusp of the 5th, 6th. This unicursal, guys, it's a risky business, and we see it again on the 6th. So we probably, that's why I say a partial short, because we probably have opportunity here to open up like more short. It's not necessarily the same opportunity. It might not be as good. So that's why I say open up a partial. How I missed that cross reading congruency, I will not know. This is the Prince of Wands right here. Prince of Wands on the 7th. So, guys, I was thinking I'm going to start doing some videos about trading mentality, because I think some of the people that have been utilizing this information for a while probably understand it's not as easy as just knowing high, like when the high is and when the low is. There's a ton of psychology that comes into play, and the psychology is what's responsible for getting you from where you are to like that close that you intend to make. Your emotions will do anything they can to prevent you from making the close as intended, right? They'll want you to do any other type of close. But one tip, guys, is that I used to chase like the maximum. Like with this information, I would try to chase the maximum amount of gain. So I'd try to hit it right at the bottom. I'd try to hit it right at the top. Of course, you want to try and do that, but when you're making a decision about whether to exit, rule of thumb, this will pay off, guys. This is so key, guys. It sounds simple. Rule of thumb, as soon as like your first opportunity to exit for a profit it should always be the opportunity that you take for the exit. Why? Because you may not get a second opportunity. It might go wrong, right? The longer the money's in the market, the more likely it is to go wrong, right? And like if you seize opportunity, then what you're doing is you're perpetuating more of same, right? Like what we vibrate at this, like as self, what we vibrate at, we we attract towards ourselves, right? Situations count. So if you're like, if you're letting an opportunity slip by, you're going to do it again and again and again. Versus if you seize that opportunity, you'll continue seizing opportunities. You can always get back in and reposition yourself. But I really think from the standpoint of anybody that's having difficulty making money utilizing this info, they're still trying to figure out. One of the main rule of thumbs that will really help you out is just take the first opportunity to exit that for a profit that you can. If you're sitting there with a profit and you're like, I think it might go more in my direction tomorrow. Let's see. You're giving yourself like more of an opportunity to then take a loss. Just seize the profit when you have it, the first opportunity. You can then recuperate, reposition yourself accordingly for another appropriate entry and exit. And that, I guarantee you guys, that one thing alone will dramatically improve your trading results. So we're going to do more videos like that. I think that type of thing will help. Can I go over, hey AV, can I go over coin and PLTR for the week? All right, let's see PLTR's earnings. Matter of fact, we might go higher here, guys. Looking at it, right? We had this. This is the prince. This is the lover card right here, right? Now we should see the Queen of Wands, and I think it'll probably take us into a high. And if it doesn't, then it's going to decline into a low. If it ends on a high, then I would say tomorrow we open lower. But I have that we open higher in my notes. Interesting, the lover card and the lover card. All right, so hey, it was luck. Coin, PLTR earnings. Oh, stop. This is one that I actually have a 1 year ready to edit and publish, and it's right around the corner. I just needed to finish up the 1 years that people had ordered from the last special offer that we had, the two for 300, or what was it, two for 450? I forget what it was. Anyhow, there was like three that still needed to be done. So those have been recorded. They're getting edited today. If you're still waiting on one of those, it's getting edited today, and it should be out by at the latest tomorrow. And then I start dropping 1 years that I had been working on forever. Hey, Joe. All right, PLTR earnings results. It's a miss, and the results will be... Interesting. The Magus card, the Magus card, and then I got the Valor card. So if you see any sort of decline as a result of the loss, or of the miss, I should say, I would utilize that. If you're looking for an entry into a long position, that might be a good place to do it. Let me just verify that with yes or no. Oh, no, not a good place to open up a long. There's something tricky going on here. I got the Devil card, so be careful of that. And then coin. Oh, and PLTR's chart behavior for the week. Let's see what I have for them so far. Oh, I think I did the 1 year already for this one, actually. Haha. Nice. Right here. Hump. Erratic behavior. Near overbought. Sell off. Rotation. So there's supposed to be a high here in early February. Looks pretty bullish. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty bullish. So today's kind of mixed. Let's take a look at today. Sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears inflow and outflow. So after the like original decline, it's pretty much sideways fluidity. Tomorrow we have an unexpected move to the upside. On Wednesday there's a decline that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and we end higher than the decline takes us. So like higher than where the decline starts. On Thursday, we have erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, and we revisit a crest there that was recently a past opportunity. It could have been like a crest from like Tuesday, maybe. And then on Friday, we rally pretty notably, increasing with momentum moving forward in time. That's PLTR for this week. And then coin. Hmm. This one, February's a little tricky because we have this low here. And then I actually think we go, well, we already did go lower, but I think I probably missed this as a low. So there's a low in there mid month. And then we probably open higher or end higher for the month of February. But for this week, it's probably mixed. So let's see. Well, actually, if this is the high, this could have been the high, in which case then it would become mixed from here. If that's the high. If that's the high. Funny. Monday I pulled the love card, which is the early part of February. Interesting. Huh. That seems to be a little off, but with that said, we still are we're entering into lower territory, which is what this ruin is probably saying here. Um so we have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. There might be like a move higher shortly and then a retracement of that move, or that could happen like at the beginning of the day tomorrow in the midst of multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on a multi-day scale. On Wednesday, we attempt to establish support, so there's probably some sideways rotational on key support. A fast sudden move higher on Thursday, taking us into an overbought crest on Friday that we sell off from through multiple support levels. That's coin. Who will win the Super Bowl, Kansas City or San Francisco 49ers? I believe peace is a yes. It's one of those cards that might be a maybe. It's a maybe. Interesting. Yeah, I got a yes. So San Francisco 49ers will win the Super Bowl. Mr. would pump early February. Am I still seeing that? Let's take a look. That's a crypto, right? Is that a crypto? Or is it a stock? I forgot. It's a stock. Huh. Okay. Okay, so there should be a lot of price change this week around a key resistance level. Um, into or out of it, and but a lot of price change, maybe even making like a high. Uh, I still see a pretty notable move here, and since we didn't see it yet, I would say it's probably going to happen like, probably tomorrow in the midst of some price swings. Overall for the week, it looks like it's really back and forth throughout the week. Overall to the upside, the second week of February, still mixed, but overall to the upside in the second week. XRP, sure thing. NFB Connect, welcome. Where are you, XRP? There you are. So we have a lowest low here thus far on the 5th, and then there's actually correlations for highest highs as well. I mean, this is for the month of February, lowest lows thus far, but there's also correlations to highest highs, and you can see for the month of February we're like, oh, I'm looking at Mister. My bad, XRP. I'm like, why is this not look like it's supposed to? I'm like, there's only 3 days. This doesn't make sense. There we go. That's more like it. So we went from a low on the first, a lower low on the second, and then we have these highs on the. Well, I have it for the fourth, fifth, and it looks like it ended up being the third, fourth, followed by another lowest low right after the high, and that ended up being right on point on the fifth. This is a really solid reading thus far, guys, especially with the lows and the lowest lows and highest highs being so close to each other. Um, so we should see another high, um, probably on the sixth, maybe the seventh, and then another one on the 8th before another significant trough that takes place on around the cusp of the 8th, ninth, probably on the ninth. Looks like highest highs. Well, we'll probably see the same price level two more times, like the same price level of highs, roughly two more times, and then have a notable drop off of that third time, which the third time's either somewhere around the 13th, 14th, or maybe here around the 17th, 18th. It's possible. Price levels. Will coin go to 125, 130? I'll come right back to you, B. So this is actually the first trading day of February, and you can see the high formed within a period of erratic behavior back and forth, in which we revisit a crest that was recently met, and the decline to the low comes from a decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down, taking us into a trough towards the very end of the month, and then there's this unexpected move out of the trough, which is that star card. But then we go lower here. We go lower here. So what do we go to? Let's see. I would think from a technical analysis standpoint, I would expect we hit 109.58. Let's see. It does. It drops to 109.58 in February. and that's roughly where the bottom will be for the February, around that 109.58. And I would be careful. So as far as anybody trading coin, I would be careful about the high that I see here in early March, because the positioning of this stone, which is indicating a high, and maybe associated with the moon card rather than with March. It's possible, in which case it would put the position of it. A little bit later. I think the high, see, this is pointing, there's probably a high here. This high is probably over here in April. I have a feeling. We'll have to see when we get there. Will Tesla hit 190? Pretty mixed in early February. Does it go to 190? Let's see. So there's very strong likelihood of a high there in February, and that high is likely. It's likely the same price level as January, or it's going to be a higher one. There's a possibility. So it actually looks like it goes higher than 190 in February. It doesn't look like it fills that gap, though. Not in February, anyways. Yeah, it looks like it probably goes to roughly 200. Um, Apple stock direction for tomorrow. Oh, I'm looking at March because I just finished working on March. Well, talk about price swings. That's bearish price swings into a prominent trough there. So we have this move higher, followed by a full retracement. Uh, Tomorrow's looks like it's probably to the downside. Yeah, it's to the downside. A decline day on the 6th for Apple. Hey, Mark Holub, do I see ADA breaking 70 cents in February? Let's take a look. I think this, if my memory serves me correct, this is one of the crypto that I was bullish on. But I'll take a look at the 1 year and just verify that. I do so many readings, it's hard to keep track, you know. Here's Cardano. I'm not sure if I even have this marked up. I probably don't have this. I do have this marked up. Nice. This is marked up. Where's the video? Interesting. This one needs to be recorded still. But here's a sneak preview of the Cardano 2024 1 year reading, which was created on September 4th, 2023, 11:24 p.m. Big move there, peak, then ended up being a high. Huh. Does it end up hitting 70 cents in February? There's a possibility based on the cards. There's a cross-read incongruency there. So let's see what the cards have to say. I got a yes for that in February, 70 cents in February. And there's a highest high correlation here in January, February. So we saw one in January. We should see another one in February. It's probably towards the end. Hard to say where it is, but there is a pretty big move. There's a trough in early February and probably a pretty big move out of that trough with a failed attempt to break through resistance. And it'll look like resistance we're going to break through. So it's probably the same high, probably roughly the same high that we had in January. Let's see, is it the same high that we had in January? No, it's got to be higher to hit that 70. Interesting. It looks like we go to 75 cents. All right, so just here in the last few minutes. All right, so we did some sidewaysy behavior here. Went from a high going into a trough. Forgot about that. It's possible that's the trough right that like that's the trough right there. I would if I had to go either way. So we've got these unicursals. I wouldn't stay in a short position long. So if you haven't done so, probably a good opportunity to open up a partial short here. You probably have another opportunity in the morning. It might not be as good. It might be as good. It might be better. It's hard to say. So I would say partial short here, partial short around this move here, this unicursal to the upside, or maybe first thing in the morning even. And then I would look to close the shorts if there isn't an opportunity midday, which they very well might not be. I would say there's opportunity here on the 7th. But with that said, there's also a high coming up here around the 7th. So it's hard. It's kind of like in between the two. Um, Man, you know what I would say? I would say I would say probably actually we're probably going to go higher. Okay, looking at it and what I think these unicursals are going to be are price levels that are being marked off that we're going to decline through in the next major decline. So we're right now that's marking off the decline that we're going to go through probably here in the last few days of the week. But we'll probably go higher first. So if you open up a partial short, you might get another opportunity tomorrow. You might even get a better opportunity tomorrow. But I wouldn't be worried if we go higher tomorrow and you're holding a short because it looks like it turns around pretty notably. See this full card. You could play the long side as well because there's a pretty good shot that we're going higher. Um, Possible. Hey, Robert. You're welcome, NFB. What does PYTH Network crypto look price wise mid February? It's going to be lower. Looks like it's going to be lower in mid February, Robert. All right, real quick, I'm going to take a look at theta. Hey, Hamza Butt. Okay. So we were on an emperor price level coming into 2024, and then we drop off of the lows. Off of the lows, it looks like there's opportunity off of the lows here, like a rally off of the lows offers opportunity to open up a short, and it looks like that's pretty much what happened. There was a low here, offered opportunity, um, like the rally off of it, excuse me, offered opportunity, and then again here, and also this is that failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support later part of February. So we should see a pretty notable move to the upside. It looks like probably towards the end. Oh, this is XRP. My gosh. Must be following similar. I'm so sorry, guys. Make sure that I'm doing the right thing here. Yeah, that's still similar, but actually much better. So we have this emperor price level here, right? The high formed with like this pop and drop. And then we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance here off of the low. This is much better. Off of the low, we have this rally that offers opportunity to open up a short position, which indicates that we come back to the low or possibly go lower. But what's interesting is that the trough we see here, like towards the end of the first week or towards the beginning of the second week of February, there's this big move. It'll really stand out and will push the upper end of a range higher. Very, very likely a high, like a higher price level, the same high or a higher price level in the later part of February than what we saw in early January. Hope that helps, Hamza. A bit Bitcoin high today or tomorrow. Look at that, guys. We circled that off days ago, right? We nailed it. We went right in there. We didn't stay there, but we were definitely in there. And I'm gonna cap off the questions here, guys. You know, it's that time I take them to the park. Uh, right, we had, and that took us to a high midday, intraday high here on the 5th. Looks like it was early in the day. So we should see another move to the upside. It looks like probably tomorrow. There's a day trade opportunity in there. But this was a high. This was a high here. So if I'm still expecting it, it already took place, my friend. Intraday. That's a high for the month. See? The line's actually on the 31st, so the month starts there. We might see it again tomorrow. It's possible, but if we do, I would say that's opportunity to close along and open up a short. Oh, Proof, I just saw you, my man. It was like I'm just gonna get this guy real quick because he's on like opposite time, and then I'll finish off your questions real quick. ETH. Interesting. The high for Bitcoin is the Queen of Wands, and the theme card for Ethereum is the Queen of Wands. So they probably follow a similar rally into the high. But the high for Ethereum is, it looks like it's probably gonna be like on the 7th. There might be a high, and then we might revisit it or see a higher one around the 9th, 10th. Let's see, what was the question? Well, Bitcoin looks higher tomorrow as well because we already came down, right? So there's a chance that we go back up tomorrow. Oh, Ethereum. You were saying Ethereum is the declining one. Um, Interesting. The thing is, you got to be careful with the moon card because the moon card's not always just the straight decline. It usually has a sharp decline involved in it, but sometimes it's often bearish price swings, and those don't always end up to the downside. Like, not always. They go down, but sometimes they finish up. You know what I mean? I would be mindful of that. Oh, shut up, Siri. My God. FDX and FCX. So there's a U-shaped dip this week overall, and that means there's a peak on either end usually. Yeah, it looks like there's a pretty big move to the upside on Friday. And there was probably a bit of a move. Yeah, this right here would have been an opportunity to open up a short. That little bit of the rally there actually would have been the opportunity to open up the short. Um, Volatile tomorrow, kind of sidewaysy on Wednesday. A rally that ends with a decline on Thursday, and then a pretty big move. We establish support around Friday, and there's a pretty big move on a multi-day scale out of that establishment of support. That's FDX. It actually looks pretty bullish overall for FCX for the week. Um, yeah, so there's more decline tomorrow. We might move higher first, and then there's more decline tomorrow. If we move higher first, then we'll probably retracing the decline of today. If we don't move higher first, hard to say, but there's a decline tomorrow, and then we established support around Wednesday. Big move higher. A lot of price change on Thursday with volatility and an important resistance, and then an unexpected move higher on Friday, finishing with a breakout on a multi-day scale. So we probably break out through these price levels here of $40. Let's see. Yeah, we break $40 or 40.19, I should say, by the end of the week. And what did I say? Was it a miss? I said a miss, but it would go higher anyways, right? AV. Guidance on AMD. I think I have an AMD reading. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's marked up, but we can take a look. I don't have an AMD. Damn. How do I not have a 2024 AMD? There's no way. Hold on. I gotta check my tracker. Oh my god, I don't have an AMD. Oh wait, no, that's 2025. Okay. Nope, no AMD. Okay, I gotta do an AMD pretty soon. All right, so AMD overall trend direction for the week. It's kind of sidewaysy along a key support. Might rise a little like in the middle of that sidewaysiness, but let's see. Ooh. Okay, so this marked off a pretty important price level, I think. Science price level. Well, it's not from a reading, but we probably see a pretty like a move back to roughly that price level tomorrow. There's a pretty bullish move tomorrow, and then the following day we have a revisiting probably of this support down here. Like there's another really big move to the downside on Wednesday, and that decline continues into Thursday and probably into Friday. Either that or there's bearish price swings on Friday with that moon card. All right, guys, I'm gonna roll with that. Oh, it beat. I missed. I missed part of the prediction. So I said it was gonna miss. It beat, but either way, the part that mattered, that counted, I got right, which was that it was gonna go higher anyways. Cool. And you know, come to think of it, I should have read that card differently. I should have, thinking about it now. But I'm glad to hear it went in your favor. Don't forget about that rule of karma, my friend. All right, my friends. So if you're interested in getting priority answers, like if you want priority response on these things, because these things are getting pretty busy. They're starting to get pretty busy. You want to go to our YouTube channel. All right. Click on join, and supporter will get you priority response on one of these. This is actually we're gonna upgrade all of these things relatively soon. I like when people go through the website instead of YouTube, because YouTube takes 35% of anything that comes in. But it's also good to have like a secondary thing, so it's not awful if somebody wants to use YouTube. It's still income, you know. All right, my friends. So as always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go. You know what to do. And if you don't, check out the video that's like at the top of our channel when we're not live, the video that replaces this space, is an explanation of the rule of karma, the whole purpose of the channel. Much appreciation goes out to all my blessed angel investors following through on that rule of karma. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be on in the morning tomorrow, guys, so look out for that, somewhere between 10 and 11.